Good morning, friends. The question, who am I, arises again today. So I want to just leave you with some questions to ponder. Values come from human experiences, not from what we do, what career we have, or any of those kinds of things, what roles we play, but human experiences. So as a mom, your human experience is working with your children, seeing them by listening to them. As a coworker, your value comes in listening to your coworkers and working alongside them and them listening to you, because we all want to be valued and we all need to feel that sense of worth. But it doesn't come from what we do or how much money we have. It comes from interactions with people. Now think about that for a little bit, and I'll come back to that. But a long time ago, I did a podcast or a blog or a video on something that I read about Weston Noble, a very famous, great choir director who went out and collected trash at the university that he worked at. And the reason? To get to know the students better. Simple, plain and simple. That's why he did it. So I'm going to leave you with a quote from Henri Matisse. There are always flowers for those who want to see them. So what flowers can you find today? What flowers can you see? What kindness can you spread? And as the kindness spreads, will it grow? Like those flowers and like those seeds that we plant each spring. From the book, The Peace Project, I want to mention, and I'd like to know what teenager thinks this, but her son said, "Do you know why we can't see tomorrow?" He asked his mom that question. And she asked, "No, what are you thinking?" And he said, "Because we can only live today." Live today, folks. Spread some kindness, food for thought. Have a great day and a great week. Greetings, friends. I think I have more questions today than answers, but isn't that the great thing about reading and learning? And the great thing about growing pains, which is what my podcast is about this week. And I just want to touch on that. We are, as a country, as a community, as a world, going through some major growing pains right now, aren't we? So how are we approaching those? Are they challenges that we can meet? Are we kicking and screaming? How do we work through the challenges and the growing pains globally and in our own personal lives? So in the book that I'm reading, The Peace Project, it's all about gratefulness, kindness, and mercy. Today she talked about everybody has dirty clothes, and recently she had to go to the laundromat to do them. And how nice of a place that was. The people were nice, kind, showing mercy to one another. So it got me to thinking, where do I have to go on a regular basis that everybody has to go to? I don't have to go to the laundromat like right now. I can do my laundry at home. But we all have to go to the grocery store. Can you think of a place where you have to go? And is it possible to show some kindness, some grace, and some mercy? Be grateful that maybe we have a grocery store, and just see if we can touch someone's life in that simple act of going to the grocery store. You might be going through some growing pains if you have set a New Year's resolution or a goal to change your diet, change your lifestyle, which if you're listening to me, you probably are. And so I want to tie this in with food as well, because the food that we eat fuels our cells, no matter what else is going on in our life. So I recently read a post from a friend who stole from a friend, so I'm stealing third time down, that said, "Eat like a king at breakfast, a prince at lunch, and a beggar at dinner." Now think about that for a moment. Don't we usually reverse that? I mean, I know I'm guilty of it, even today as I try to eat all the right foods. So We're all experiencing growing pains in one form or another. Are we going to look at them as challenges that we can meet, or are we going to just be negative? What's your choice? Have a great day. Greetings, friends. How are you on this fine Monday morning? I am so much better today than I have been for the past few days. We have been out of school in the last 3 weeks for various things, either the virus, a conference, or the weather. And I tell you what, everybody knows that listens to my little blogs that I am a routine person, and not having my normal routine has totally disrupted my life. So I'm very, very thankful today to be back in school. I just want to share with you that if you are a person who struggles with a particular time of year or a particular set of circumstances, I'm right there with you. January and February are rough for me. Add to it these things that have happened about being out of school and things out of our control, and the fact that this is our big choir competition season and we haven't been able to go to a single competition yet, and I am at the height of just grumpy. So I want to share a few things with you. First of all, I've really tried, even though there hasn't been much of a routine to take and be with these last 3 weeks, to be in my own self-care routine. So for those of you struggling, keep that up. Keep doing whatever it is that you do, whether it's reading or exercise or good diet or whatever those things are. That's been what I've really tried to do. And I want to leave you with some thoughts. First of all, I just finished listening to the Maya Angelou book, Mom and Me and Mom. And if you have not read that, you need to. It's great. It's all about love. And isn't that the greatest thing of all? I also want to leave you with this. This was today's devotional. Leaving the outcome to God is the only path to peace and joy. Isn't that the truth? And then a prayer from yesterday's devotional that I need to say to myself over and over and to pray over and over is, Dear God, thank you for loving me. Isn't that the most to be thankful for? Help me to focus on your faithfulness instead of the worries of this life. And that's where I'm at today. If you're there with me, say the little prayer, keep your routines, and make a list of the things you can be thankful for. I know that's what I've had to do, and it's been very, very helpful. Have a great week. See you later. Good morning, friends. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope that today finds you feeling blessed and that you can remember and be thankful for those in your life who you love and let them know it today. I am looking back to the last few weeks, and if you have watched my videos, you know that I've kind of been in this darker, weirder place. And I mentioned that January and February are harder for me. And so I am feeling so much better. A week of work last week, my routine's back to where they are. And things are starting to iron themselves out. But this last week and over the weekend, I kind of was contemplating, why was my mood so bad? Is the lack of routine and school being out and the weather and all of that just an excuse? Because most everything was staying the same. I was still listening to my podcasts and trying to eat right and all of that. So I just had to step back. And I think, really, honestly, it stemmed from what I was putting into my gut. So I wasn't eating terrible. I'm still doing what all I needed to do and not eating a lot of junk food and all of that. But things had begun to creep back in. Like, I know I can't eat a lot of cheese. I know I can't eat a lot of bread. Those things just don't digest well in my gut. Yet, I was adding them in here and there. So Then I'm up a couple of pounds, and I got to thinking, what is going on? So this past weekend, 3 or 4 days, I've just been really concentrating on food, and I'm back to researching some diets and researching some things like I have mentioned to you before from the telomere effect and from the Deepak Chopra book and things like that. So where am I headed with my videos? Well, it's back to food. I'm going to talk about good foods, bad foods. I'm going to do some more research and listening and reading, and those things will probably all be topics in my conversations. So in the meantime, while I'm reading, take a look at some of those fruits and vegetables you're eating, and has your diet had some of those comfort foods because it's cold and wintry creep back in, and maybe you're not feeling as well either? So until next time, and I hope these become more frequent, but it may be a little while because right now we're ramping up again. So in the meantime, God bless, happy Valentine's Day, and eat right. Greetings, friends. How are you on this fine Monday morning? I am so much better today than I have been for the past few days. We have been out of school in the last 3 weeks for various things, either the virus, a conference, or the weather. And I tell you what, everybody knows that listens to my little blogs that I am a routine person, and not having my normal routine has totally disrupted my life. So I'm very, very thankful today to be back in school. I just want to share with you that if you are a person who struggles with a particular time of year or a particular set of circumstances, I'm right there with you. January and February are rough for me. Add to it these things that have happened about being out of school and things out of our control, and the fact that this is our big choir competition season and we haven't been able to go to a single competition yet, and I am at the height of just grumpy. So I want to share a few things with you. First of all, I've really tried, even though there hasn't been much of a routine to take and be with these last 3 weeks, to be in my own self-care routine. So for those of you struggling, keep that up. Keep doing whatever it is that you do, whether it's reading or exercise or good diet or whatever those things are. That's been what I've really tried to do. And I want to leave you with some thoughts. First of all, I just finished listening to the Maya Angelou book, Mom and Me and Mom. And if you have not read that, you need to. It's great. It's all about love. And isn't that the greatest thing of all? I also want to leave you with this. This was today's devotional. Leaving the outcome to God is the only path to peace and joy. Isn't that the truth? And then a prayer from yesterday's devotional that I need to say to myself over and over and to pray over and over is, Dear God, thank you for loving me. Isn't that the most to be thankful for? Help me to focus on your faithfulness instead of the worries of this life. And that's where I'm at today. If you're there with me, say the little prayer, keep your routines, and make a list of the things you can be thankful for. I know that's what I've had to do, and it's been very, very helpful. Have a great week. See you later. Good morning, friends. I am walkless for one more morning, hoping that this little cold spell will get a little bit better. I have a limit of walking at about 20 degrees, and this morning it was 9. So, however, this afternoon it's supposed to get up to 36, 34, somewhere around there. I'm hoping to take a walk this afternoon. I want to share some thoughts with you this morning as we get ready to go into our work week. For teachers, this might be the first day back for a couple-week break. For the rest of you, you are starting a new week, a new you in 2022. So this morning's readings and yoga were very thought-provoking once again. And I want to share something with you from the Peace Project. It's a quote from Pope Francis. Today's lesson was on mercy. The name of God is mercy. There are no situations we cannot get out of. We are not condemned to sink into quicksand. Think about that for a moment. You may think you are in a tough situation that you just simply can't get out of, but that is not true. There is always a way out. So, from the devotional this morning, I want to take that a little farther. The Lord watches over all who love him. So if you think you're in quicksand, just think about that. The Lord watches over all who love him, and he will come to your rescue. He hasn't moved. It's us that moves. So, what's your mountain today? Don't push on it and try to bustle it out of the way with brute force. Take a step up it. Maybe take 2 steps up it. You might end up by the end of the day with 1 step back, but at least you've advanced 1 step forward. 1 step at a time, climb the mountain. All you have to do is put 1 foot in front of the other. Have a great day, folks. Experience, be present, spread some love, and maybe some mercy for those who need it. Have a great day. Good morning, friends. So I haven't posted a video for a while. I'm going to be honest with you. I've kind of been an emotional wreck. The worst thing that you can probably tell a teacher right now is we're going to be virtual for the next 4 days. I'm not going to lie to you. The residue from 2020 lingered heavy this past week, as we stayed home to try to circumvent any more sickness, partly because we didn't have enough staff to be able to come to school. So I know we were all dealing with it, and I know we're dealing with it across the country, but it was an emotional roller coaster for me, at least last week. And I say roller coaster because there were some good things. I continued to read. I continued to watch videos. I got a couple of things done that I had been wanting to do but didn't have the time to do. I had a couple of great Google Meets with my students. Even though we couldn't get together, we were able to get together that way. But I can tell you that even this morning on my walk, the chaos of my emotion hit me dead center. And so I just want to express to you that we all go through these times. The bell tolling in my head from 2020 was great. And I think that the thing that kept me even somewhat sane was all of the routines that I've built over the last year and a half. So healthy eating, I continued unbelievably to be able to do that even though we were sitting at home. I continued to exercise. I continued to do my yoga patch. Loved the extra attention from us being at home. And so what's my message today? Keep on doing the things that you know work, because they do. And eventually you'll get through the rough spot with all of those things, and with everyone else's help as well. You know what's really great about being back to school this week? Not besides seeing the kids, is just being able to be among people again and camaraderie. So I've missed that. And if you are in my same community, then you probably have too. And if you're somewhere else in the world and you're still working remotely from home and you're struggling, then know that you're not alone and that there are things that you can do to help yourself. Have a great day. God bless. Good morning, friends. This little video is completely off the cuff. I have been reading my peace project, doing my yoga, and actually this morning we got to walk a little bit farther. It was 50 degrees here yesterday, or maybe warmer, but still in the shade. If it didn't get sunlight, there's ice, and so I'm having to pick and choose where I go. But that's okay. At least we're getting a little bit of walk in, and Patch is happy. I just want to reflect a moment. Mr. P, hubby, was listening to a podcast this morning about the Australian Open and the Australians' take on locking down and the virus and trying to control it. And then the video went to France's take on what they're trying to do to get people to be vaccinated. And all of it just sort of hit me as I read the Peace Project this morning with its topic about trying to find kindness. And one of the things that she said was, we're surrounded by a world of rudeness and competition and what's better for my kid or what's better for my family or what's better for my community. And really, we're all in life together. And the pandemic is one of the areas where we're all in it together. And I wonder if just a little bit of kindness, instead of this is the way it's got to be, this way or that way, or whichever side you line up on, wouldn't maybe make us a little kinder place. And so, I don't know. I don't have any answers, but it is something that I just was pondering this morning after I read my chapter and listened sort of in the background to his podcast, thinking, what little acts of kindness can we do throughout the day to make our worlds seem like a better place, and perhaps spread the kindness and the mercy and the forgiveness so that somehow eventually that's what rules the world rather than the rude takes that we always get from what we hear from outside. I don't know. Have a great day. Think about what acts of kindness and mercy you can spread throughout your world today, and I'll see you another time. Good morning, friends. How are we today? Can you believe that this is January 31st of 2022? I just can't believe that the month is gone. Where in the world did it go? I read my last chapter of the Peace Project last night, did my last yoga routine of the 30-day move challenge with Adrian's yoga channel today. So I'm going, oh man, what am I going to do for February, right? Well, there's another yoga calendar put together that she does, and so I'll start there. And I'm looking for a good book to read. So if you have some suggestions, hand them over. I am coming back this morning from a 3-day conference at Margaritaville or Tantera down at Lake of the Ozarks, and it's a music teacher conference, and so got to hear lots of great music, got to reconnect with some friends, and so it was really nice to be able to do that after not having a conference last year at all. I am always struggling in January and February with mindset. I think it's the cold, and it's that sometimes we don't have a lot of sunshine, hence my sunshiny picture behind you. We did not go home, haven't been home yet actually from our conference, because Brian, our youngest, is living with us, doing his music career. Some of you might know that. And he tested positive for COVID while we were gone. So we are staying away because we really didn't see him just prior to his symptoms since we were gone. And so we're staying away until at least tonight. So I don't know. We went down to Bennett. We went down to that place behind me for a night after the conference was over. Got to do some great fishing. So now we're back. And we get a day of 60 degrees, and then I think we're going to have a little winter storm. So who knows what the rest of this week will bring, right? Who knows what the rest of our life will bring? And so what do we rely on? Who do we rely on? I know from reading the Peace Project and doing my Bible studies and things, I am more and more leaning toward spirituality and a higher being. God for me, but who is it for you? So this is a word of encouragement. Hang in there. It's the end of January. If you're a summer person, we're 1 month closer. Have a great day and have a great week. God bless. Whew. What a crazy few days, folks. Man alive. It's been a while since I've been on because life has been a little bit hectic. So we've had a few show choir competitions along the way. We've had some weird weather, which is why I have a dogwood tree behind me for my green screen today, because I am trying to think spring as we are like down in the teens again this morning with a little snow falling down. I just want to tell you that even in this hectic last week that we've been in with weird weather and too cold to walk some days and this and that, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get on a bus at 5:30 and 6:30 to head to a show choir festival, I am excited to report that I have been able to somewhat stay with healthy eating habits. So I'm working on incorporating more of a plant-based diet into my eating, and I'm getting there. Having been so hectic, it's been a little hard, but I've tried to make sure that what I'm eating is either fish or chicken. Maybe if it's got to be beef, it's been a little bit of beef, but not a whole lot. So the moral of the story, why am I telling you all this and sharing all this? Because even when life gets hectic, you can continue to eat healthy, eat the right things, still try to do whatever exercise you can get in, even if life throws you some curveballs with lots of different schedules. And just hang in there, keep it going. I mean, out of all of this last week, I've only had to grab a McDonald's sandwich one time, and I made sure it was a fish sandwich and then only ate part of the bread. So, there are things you can do. If you have to do something like that, do it. Just make good choices when you do. So, hang in there. Report back. I will let you know how the next couple of weeks go because we've got a couple of more show choir competitions and performances. So, see you then. Good morning, friends. It's been a while since I have been on and made a video, and I think the last one I mentioned that life had been kind of hectic, show choir was going on and all of that, and I just decided that I needed to take the couple of weeks off that I took, get refocused, do some reading, do some reevaluating, and finish up the show choir season and not worry about other things and give myself just a little bit of grace. But I'm back, and I don't have too much to say today except that I've been reading a book. It's Your Body in Balance by Dr. Neil Barnard, and I have been intrigued. So for the past couple of weeks, I have been working on trying to eat more fruits and vegetables, less meat. So leaning toward more of a plant-based diet. So here are some things that I'm experimenting with. Getting rid of dairy and going to a soy milk. Trying some tofu, which I have never done before. Cutting out cheese and eggs. And it's not hard for me to cut out chicken or beef or pork because I never really was great into that anyway. The one thing that I haven't been able to cut out is fish. So this is all just an experiment. It's been an experiment for the past couple of weeks. I don't know whether it's good or bad. I don't know whether I've completely bought into a vegan type of diet or not. But I do know this. It really can't hurt you when you look at the nutritional values in fruits and vegetables and the protein you can gain from that, plus the protein that I drink already in my Life shakes from Shackley. So I'm just trying it. I'm just seeing how I feel and just experimenting because I don't think it's going to hurt me to eat lots of fruits and vegetables. So where am I headed next? Well, I've got a couple of ideas. I've got some things in the works that I'm trying out. And I'm going to do another book review on this book, Your Body in Balance. And I'm going to talk about some of the issues in there and talk about how diet might play a role in some of our health issues that we have going on these days, seeming to be more prevalent than ever in our world today. So there you go. Have a great day. Have a great week. And I'll be back.